So I pointed out that those will be found in the exhibit files and how the matter progressed. Do you confirm that's what you have, General?
Page 1004.
Starting from 1001.
He's referring to the actual complaint, I think. It's 1004, that's where you were.
1001.
1004.
1004.
Oh, the actual complaint
The
itself,
actual
yes,
complaint.
that's correct.
I confirm this is the complaint I received from the National Head Office.
And I say then the documents following are reports, ought to be reports relating or submitted in respect of this complaint. If I may just cross-check.
What comes after is a handwritten document.
I see that.
Yes.
I see that we are looking for page.
Is it the information note 1082?
It is the information note CJC 289.
Yeah.
I apologize, it would appear they are not exactly filed in order in the exhibit files. So, General, you have located the actual complaint.
Correct, Commissioners.
And then if you go forward to page 1088, then should be the information note regarding the investigation into Colonel Sanda and following.
What is 1056?
1056 should be, CJC 289 is a couple of documents. It runs from 1050 to 1105. So it's a series of the documents relating to that complaint.
So 1051 would be an information note on
Indeed.
the same matter.
On the same
and then
matter.
carrying on.
And then carrying on until 1105, Commissioner. I was pointing that out for the General to remind himself regarding what happened with this complaint, because he said since his suspension he did not have access to his gadgets, and whether he's able to respond to a question from the commissioners about what eventually became of this complaint prior to his suspension, as I understand it, in January of 2026. Would that assist you, General?
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. I think what has just happened is what my senior counsel was addressing the Commissioners about in the opening remarks regarding documents that I didn't have prior to me coming here. This, I'm seeing it for the first time here, receiving it for the first time from the Commission. However, I can see the document, I recall the document, but for the purpose of assisting the Commission, I will respond. I will indicate that in this document, I'm not sure what was the question, if it can be repeated, so that I can be able to respond appropriately.
Yeah. Mr. Law says this arises from a question that I asked, which was your knowledge as to the fate of the investigation.
Or the finalization.
Yes. Whether finalized, yes.
Okay.
In fact, yes, I introduced the question by referring to the fact that Warrant, no. Who was it? No.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner.
Warrant Officer Sander said that this had been finalized.
Commissioner.
It arose from that, and then there was one or two follow-ups.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yes.
When you look at the report, this report was compiled for head office by me after I was provided the information by my subordinates. They wrote it, I read it, and then I was happy. But Commissioners, when you look at page 1089 of the same document, there is a paragraph 3 that talks about evidence already obtained. And then I don't want to waste time, and then you go to page 1090. It will say progress report, and then it talks about the tech shop and all the stuff. You see, when we conduct investigations in the DPCI, there are different things that we do. You'll realize that on paragraph 4, it talks about the investigation that was conducted in line with the FIC, Financial Intelligence Center. When we conduct investigation, that office is one part and parcel of our stakeholders that is assisting us. And then there were also recommendations by the FIC in terms of this report. And then when you go to page 1091, there is the outcome of a specific investigation whereby the paragraph 7 that talks to him not declaring the directorship of this company of his. Then that part of the investigation, we have a risk and integrity management section that also assisted in this investigation, not necessarily the criminal part of it. Look, it's a wide scope that they do when we do investigation. And they are the ones who came with these recommendations of the disciplinary issue matter against the Warrant Officer Sanders. Then I signed it, I sent it. These issues that I hear does not necessarily indicate that the criminal conduct as it is depicted in the complaint, it has been finalized. There are certain sections that are directing us towards that were finalized, but not the actual criminal conduct as per the original complaint, Commissioners.
Can I just to check this without probing, that from your earlier evidence that you directed Brigadier Nyuswa that the member must return to his original position. From that, it surely must mean that at that point, when you gave the direction that you say you gave, you had formed the view that there was no concern with him returning to SANEP. It seems to me that it can only be
Was that he must go
mean
back
that
to
if you
SOCI,
have made that decision.
serious organized crime investigations.
Not that he should go back to his original position.
You-
I may have misunderstood you earlier because I thought I understood you to say.
It might be a mistake not to say SOCI SANAP, but I said SOCI. SOCI is serious organized crime, and serious organized crime is divided into 3 subsections. The NPVC, National Priority Violence Crime, SANEP, South African Narcotic Enforcement Bureau, and the EPR. So my directive, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I can recollect, I said he must go back to SOCI.
And again, it's to try and understand properly what that evidence means, that Brigadier Nyuswa could have returned him to SANEP and you would not have considered it to be in defiance of your direction.
Come again, Commissioner?
Soki has 3 units that you have
Yes.
listed. One of them is SANEP.
Yes.
If Brigadier Nyuswa had placed him at SANEP, where he originally was,
Yes, Commissioner.
instead of EPR, that would still have been in compliance with your instruction that he must return to Soki.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
It's one issue. I had understood, I can't recall which document it was and which witness gave this evidence, but I had understood that the complaint was investigated, the very complaint we're talking about. They could not get hold of the complainant because either the email was bogus or it did not exist, and that's as far as they could take it. That was my understanding, and I could be wrong. So what I'm asking you is really confirmation of your understanding. Is that, do you have similar understanding, or you cannot respond because you're not sure what the facts are?
Thank you, Commissioner Kumalo. Although it is not raised in the regulation 10.6, but I will assist.
Can I
you
just say
receive-
something, because you keep repeating this issue? Can I just say something? You get 10.6s from the evidence leaders and the attorneys. When commissioners are sitting here, they might look at a file and see a document. And if they consider that document to be relevant, they will ask you a question on it. So I hope you won't keep saying, well, because it's not in a 10.6, I take issue with the question that is being asked. Because we are here to establish facts. And in a 10.6, I can tell you now, you can't put everything that is in all these files. Otherwise, your 10.6 will be 50 pages long. You know, you are given the substance of what you will be questioned on. But the actual detail, as I look at this document, for example, I recall something that somebody said. I may be the only person who recalls it. And then I ask you to clarify that issue. So there, I don't see why you would say, oh, but it's not in a 10.6. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Commissioner, I was just putting on record, but I'm going to respond to the Commissioner's clarity-seeking question. It's just certain things need to be placed on record. I was legally advised that the Commission findings might be put on review. Hence, I'm putting certain things.
I already saw that from Mr. Mpofu's opening remarks.
Yeah, so hence, I want to put it on record because it might come back and say, why you never said 1, 2, 3. But to respond to your clarity-seeking question, Commissioner, I want to indicate that in the execution of our duties as members of the South African Police Services, yes, there are instances where you find out that a person who lodged a complaint, you can't find him. There are instances whereby people report things on an anonymity basis, like your so-called whistleblower. So what you are saying, if you say somebody said that, I won't say it is incorrect or correct, but there is a probability.
In fact, I'm reminded by my co-commissioner that in the very document that you say you signed, the information note on 1082, paragraph 2.2. 1082, paragraph 2.2. Also, I think the information notes are similar. The other one is from February, the other one is from October. So even if you look at the October one on 1088, you will find that,
1088.
yeah.
Yeah, hence, Commissioner, I said, I didn't have access before I come here with this thing. So I'm going there to have a look. And my response was, it happens sometimes that you don't happen to find the complainant, because when you are doing your investigation, there are instances where the complainant must clarify certain things for you in order to continue. Sometimes you don't find this complainant, and then there are issues that relate to the so-called whistleblowers. So if it is contained in this report, I'm trying to find the paragraph the Commissioner is referring to.
2.2. On
1088, the very same report you were looking at, General. 1088.
Yeah, I see that it was we wrote that I must read it. An email was sent to the complainant. Sorry, so I'm not going to say names, commissioners. Please bear with me. That to him that Port Shepstone Serious Organized Crime Unit was named at the bottom. But it was a progress report. Once you receive a complaint or a docket to investigate, they say, Gen.Senona, this is your docket. The first thing that you do, you must interview the complainant and introduce yourself as the person who will be leading that investigation.
I think you've answered me, General. I just wanted to clarify if you are aware that this was the position.
I'm reminded now.
I was
Thank
also
you.
reminded because
Yes.
I did not have the reference, so
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioners. I trust that takes care of the issue that arose. Before we leave this topic, General, there was a discussion about the suspension of Warrant Officer Sander. And to that end, you were referred to page 475. That was the letter you signed, dated the 13th of February. You recall that? Would you want to, if you want to go there, CJC 239, page 475? We flighted the letter, you confirmed, you signed that letter.
Which bundle, Mr. Law?
Second, 475. That would be second bundle.
We were there. Page?
475. CJC
It can't be here.
239.
Correct, Commissioners. This is not the suspension, it's the temporary placement.
My apologies. You are quite correct. Yes. I used a wrong term there. If I gave the commissioners an opportunity. Thank you. We had previously looked at this letter. And you indicated that the person acting at the time was Colonel Jacobs, correct? Because it's addressed to the acting provincial commissioner.
Correct, Commissioners.
And you testified this morning that both of you called Warrant Officer Sander into your office, if I understood you correctly, where you engaged him on these issues and that temporary transfer.
I called Colonel Jacobs to come with Warrant Officer Sanders
Yes,
after I've received the complaint
indeed.
into my office.
Okay. I raise this with you because during his testimony, Warrant Officer Colonel Jacobs was referred to this letter. He was asked who was the acting provincial commander at the time, and he testified that he does not remember and that he doesn't know anything about this temporary transfer. And this, for reference purposes, will be transcript. We don't have to go there, trust me to read it, of the 4th of June, 2026, from page 223 to page 226. That's where the engagement is taking place. Firstly, he suggests that he doesn't know who was acting, and secondly, that he was not part of a meeting where Warrant Officer Sanders was informed of the complaint and the transfer. Do you have a comment to that? as to why that would be the case.
If he says he doesn't remember, I can't answer on his behalf, but as far as my recollection is, he was there in my office with Warrant Officer Sander, as far as my recollection is. So
And-
I
yes,
wouldn't, sorry?
My apologies, go ahead.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. And in fact, there is a letter addressed to him appointing him as the acting district commander for that period,
Acting
signed by you.
what? Acting what?
Provincial.
Provincial commander. I get the titles wrong. I'll start again. You appointed him acting provincial commander for the period Brigadier Nyuswa was on leave,
If
which
that-
is the period of when this complaint was received and acted upon.
Commissioners, if
Uh,
that,
Before,
sorry, before I respond, sorry.
just to
Apologies.
explain, to assist you, and that would be found at CJC 290, page 1106. That would be the last bundle.
I must close the first one.
You may for the moment.
So page 1106.
1106. My numbering correct?
I can confirm on 1107, this is my signature.
Yes.
And although I might have seen this document by then, but for the purpose of the commission, I'm seeing it for the first time here. I
don't
want to
understand
just
that.
put it on record, but it's him, Colonel Jacobs. Colonel G. Jacobs.
And you appointed him to act in that period, January to sometime in February.
The date of appointment, it says from 29 January until 18 February 2024.
Yes. So I didn't quite understand. What are you seeing for the first time in the commission?
I'm saying by then, in the 22 January 2024, because I've attached my signature, I might have seen this document by then, I confirm. But for the purpose of me coming to talk about it on the commission, I've just seen it now.
Okay. But now, on seeing it, it jolts your memory. It's your signature, you definitely did appoint him.
Absolutely correct. It's my
Indeed.
signature. Is Colonel Jacobs, who was appointed to act in that period, which confirms my evidence in chief.
And then I point these out to you because in his evidence, as I say, pages 223 to 226, firstly, he says he doesn't know who was acting at in that period. He discounts the possibility it was him. He testified that he did not know of when Warrant Officer Sander was temporarily suspended, transferred is the word, as you testified. And he categorically denied that he was a part of that meeting. I'm inviting you for a comment because earlier today you testified that you instructed him to call Warrant Officer Sander to your office, at which you informed Warrant Officer Sander of all these developments and the complaints and the decision taken. Do you have a comment?
Commissioners, I'm not, just pardon me with respect, I don't want to answer issues of Colonel Jacobs, but my answer is, this letter was signed by me, he was there. If he denied it or whatever, please allow me not to respond upon his answers or whatever. But this letter was signed by me. I testified earlier under oath, I'm still under oath, that I called him because he was acting to come with Warrant Officer Sander to my office. And that is where I effected this letter on page 475.
Gen.Senona, I believe the letter is being produced to point